Welcome back to Forced Education. This is Ed. Today we're going to be talking about SoFi. Now, I did talk about it multiple times before, but today we're bringing new information. So SoFi, in case you've never heard about them, well, and this is the first video, I do recommend that you do watch my previous videos, but they have different products, including loans, private student loans, home loans, personal loans, investing, but including crypto, credit cards, money, insurance, insights, and business solutions. So they have a diverse range of products. Now, SoFi's mission is to help people reach financial independence to realize their ambition. Now, there is some news that I do find intriguing overall. So, they received their first regulatory approval to become a national bank. So this is based in San Francisco for SoFi. Digital personal finance company today announced that the Office of OCC and the Federal Reserve has approved its application to become a bank holding company through its proposed acquisition of Golden Pacific Bancorp. Now, it will operate as a subsidiary of SoFi Bank as SoFi Bank, and the National Association SoFi expects the acquisition to close in February, subject to completion or waiver of the remaining customary closing condition. This is an incredible milestone, elevating our ability to help even more people to get their money right and realize their ambition, said the CEO. With a national bank charter, not only will we be able to lend at even more competitive interest rates and provide our members with highly yielding interest checkings and saving, it will also enhance our financial products and services to ensure their efficiency are met and meets the needs of our members, business partners, and communities across the country, while continuing to uphold high bar of regulatory standards and compliances. The important steps allows us to add more broad suite of financial products and services, be there for our members during the major financial moments in their lives, all the moments in between. I'm incredibly proud, blah blah blah. Last year, in a key strategic step in Sofi's path to obtaining a national bank charter, the companies announced a definitive agreement by its subsidiary Social Finance Corporation to acquire Golden Pacific Bancorp and its own wholly owned subsidiary Golden Pacific Bank, together known as GPB. Now, SoFi plans to contribute around $750 million in capital to pursue its national and digital business plan while maintaining GPP's communities bank business and footprint, including GPP's current 3 physical branches. At the time of an announcement, SoFi submits a revised business plan, for GPP to the OCC, an application to become a bank holding company for a change of control of the Federal Reserve of approval. Now, this is all good. After completing the acquisition, SoFi will become or the actual subsidiary will be SoFi Bank, and it will still have all the customary bank insurances and everything that a bank has. So that is also an important thing. The insurances and privileges, the perks that come with a Federal Reserve approved and OCC approved national bank. Now, in terms of the price over sales, this is 12.87, but this is based on the TTM, so we're still waiting on for the new year results. Hopefully that comes out soon, and I do anticipate that the price over sales would in fact improve. Price over book is 2.63, which is still undervalued compared to the SP 500 average. Now, SoFi institutional buyers, you're able to see that back in 2021, you see some withdrawals. So, for instance, SCH sponsors liquidated 25% off their position, Red Crow Capital 20%. Now, from institutional buyers, just generally, 2022 seems to be an addition year for the last 2 weeks. Where you go back, Goldman Sachs put a put on it and they put a call, so they're trying to hedge their own position after they liquidated 88% of it. But it's a little bit mixed, but I would say in the last week or so, there's been more additions than there has been dispositions. I mean, you have Russell's Investment Group where they basically added around 74% additional of their shares. So, I mean, it is kind of mixed depending on what kind of vision you're looking at, but nonetheless, it's kind of moving in a two-way street. And in terms of insiders, I'm not seeing anything significant off that, but short shares availability is around 10 million at a short borrow rate of 0.48. Not really putting this one at any more significant short squeeze risk at this current moment because of basically the percentage or currently where things are lying in terms of the percentage to borrow for fees. Now, nonetheless, the short volume ratio is around 60%. It's one of the highest look into around a week ago, it was around 30%, so it is double from then. Before moving on towards technical analysis, if you would like to see more contents like this, make sure to drop the like button and the subscribe button and leave notifications on button for this one. Now let's move on towards technical analysis. Now from a technical analysis standpoint, SoFi's technical analysis on a one-day perspective kind of puts things a little bit more sideways than anything. You're able to see, yes, there was a jump from around 1202 to momentarily around 15, but it did break around 16, gone back to 15. You're able to see that the ADX isn't showing that the punches are going in one direction or another. It's kind of moving in sideways. You're able to see it's more 23. So it is an indication that an uptrend is very possible, but not currently seen. Million percent R, which is very similar to the relative strength index, indicates whether a stock is overbought, oversold, or somewhere in between. And currently, it is somewhere in between. MACD, it shows a little bit of a positive pulse, as you get to see, suggesting that this might be a chance for a positive reversal, very similar to what you've seen perhaps back in the 27th of December. But it's still not strong enough. Momentum is negative 1.16 to be exact. So it's not really throwing punches in either direction. If anything, it is attempting to, but it's not breaking that resistance level. Now, on the other side, for stochastic fast and stochastic slow, you're able to see that almost all of these indicators are going upwards except one, suggesting this might be an interesting time to buy for a quick move. Now, for moving average bands and Bollinger Bands, this stock really dropped to 1202, one of the lowest it's been ever since inception, and it bounced a little. Moving averages anticipate this one to trade between 1573 and 1287. Meanwhile, the Bollinger Bands between 1631 and 1230. Volumes in the last 3 days has spiked. Otherwise, it most likely would have been lower, and it's because of the news that we recently received. And you're able to see that this volume is starting to go downwards again, and the unbalanced volume is starting to go back to the negative, suggesting, unfortunately, that the momentum that this one has, the volume that it was actually kind of gaining, is weakening out, and it might go on and slip a little bit downwards. Not a good news, and definitely not really good to say over loud. Now, in terms of Fibonacci retracements, you're able to see all the way from around 2495 to around 1202. And what you see for this one is that there are resistances. First one at 1507, 1696, 1848, 2001, 2218, and 2495. Meanwhile, the only support at the Fibonacci retracements is 1202. But from a price line action, we're able to see 1386 as a significant support, followed by 1368, going down to 1337, and then 1302, and then down to the 1202. Resistances are around 1503, going up to 1535. Around 1611, it jumps quite higher to 1784, to around 2009, 2120, higher to 2207 and 2314. And then you start seeing a little bit of higher numbers, 2394 and 2447. These are some major ones, but I really want to see it at least break that kind of barrier at 1646 that it struggled with even on Thursday. Now, before I move on towards what I think about this one, I try to get analyst recommendations, but I wasn't able to, so my platform is disabled for the time being due to technical difficulties. But nonetheless, historically seeing that these kind of best overall analyst recommendation for SoFi hasn't really been that accurate as much. So in my own opinion, I do anticipate it will have some spikes here and there and some resistances based on news, but the downward momentum seems to be somewhat strong for some reason. I can't pinpoint my finger on it, but it's almost like a curse that this stock has a little. And with the stock market kind of sliding downwards, it still was a bit more resistant to that kind of slide. I do anticipate that with the bank kind of being in a SoFi Bank and that kind of picking up a bit more momentum, this stock most likely will be seeing some bounces upwards in the near future and in the unforeseeable future. What do you think about this one? Make sure to down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and have a wonderful day. Now, if you're still here on this video, make sure to drop down below and join our Discord. We have a lot of different things going on, including, for instance, members that gives picks for free. It's not pump and dumps, we just things we think about, swings, etc. We also have really exciting bots. You can actually use those ones. For instance, we're just testing out this bot, for instance, that gives you Fibonacci resistance points, activities, etc. And we have a bunch of free things, totally free. We run on tips here, and you can
can ask me questions, suggest stocks, etc. It's a really nice community that has been growing up very fast at a very good rate, and it's totally free. If you would like to join that one, feel free to do so in the description below, and have a wonderful day.